November 22nd. In your view, did the Warren Commission present all of the facts regarding the assassination of President Kennedy?
Well, let me say this. The Warren Commission, I think, had to report in their book what they wanted the world to believe when they read the Warren Commission. As you know, as well as I know, that everybody in the world was reading this Warren Commission, and it had to read like they wanted it to read. They had to prove that Oswald did it alone.
In preparing its evidence, the Commission suppressed one photograph, mutilated another, cropped a third, and made a mystery of a fourth.
And I took the picture. It so happened my picture, when I took it, was at the same instant that the President was hit. And that does show in my picture.
Did you realize what had happened when you heard the shot?
No, I didn't. There was, 3 or 4 real close together. And it was, must have been the first one that shot him, because that was the time I took the picture. And during that time, after I took the picture, and the shots were still being fired, I decided I better get on the ground.
You did lie down?
I did. I was no more than 15 foot from the car and in line of fire, evidently.
Did Mrs. Kennedy scream on the first shot?
I don't know about the first shot, but she did scream. She says, "My God, he's been hit, or he's been shot."
Now, the picture you took, I understand the FBI has it now.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The federal police did have it on November 22nd, but it was never published or referred to by the Commission. The agent who took it from Mrs. Mormon described it, quote, "Mrs. Mormon had taken a picture of the lead motorcycle officer. In the background of this picture was a picture of the book depository building and the window where the gunman sat when doing the shooting. A picture of the window at the time of the shooting. Why wasn't it published? Wasn't it conclusive proof of Oswald's guilt or innocence?" This is Commission Exhibit 5. It purportedly was found among Oswald's effects. It depicts General Walker's home in Dallas and was used by the Commission as proof that Oswald shot at General Walker. Marina Oswald was questioned about it before the Commission. Question. License plate? Mrs. Oswald. I would have remembered this black spot if it were there at the time the Commission showed me this, or the FBI. When the FBI first showed me this photograph, I remember that the license plate, the number of the license plate, was on this car, was on the photograph. It had white and black numbers. There was no black spot that I see on it now. Question. Who showed you the picture? The FBI, or the Secret Service, or the Commission? Answer. The FBI first, and then the Commission. Question. Now, at the time the Commission showed you the picture in Washington, was there a hole shown in the picture where the car's license plate should be? Answer. No, I don't know what happened to this picture, because when the Commission showed me the picture, there was not this spot here. If there was a hole, I would have asked them about it right away, why that hole is there, or that black spot. Associated Press photographer James Olkins took this picture as the first shot was fired. People all over the country asked, how could Oswald be downstairs watching the motorcade if he was upstairs shooting the president? The FBI puzzled over it, too.
The reason it's going to be down in this area down here for years. This is the reason for this last one. That's where we go. But this way.
The commission said the man in the doorway was Billy Lovelady. Although Lovelady agreed, he also said he wore a red and white striped sports shirt, buttoned near the neck, and no jacket. No commission member ever saw Lovelady. Apparently, no commission member even saw a picture of him. The press was unable to obtain one. This is a previously unpublished photograph of Lovelady, taken by us from a camouflage position. Here is a picture of Oswald at the time of his arrest. Was the man in the doorway Oswald or Lovelady, or neither one? If it was Oswald, that fact alone is proof of his innocence.
The suspect's name is Jack Rubenstein, I believe. He goes by the name of Jack Ruby.
Did you know Ruby before this?
No, sir. Saw him in this very same room Friday night when we had the defendant up here. If some of you will recall, he asked a question from out here in the audience, or answered a question. He stand right back here, and I didn't know who he was. I thought he was a member of the press, and he told me as we walked out of here that he was a nightclub operator here.
What question did he ask?
What?
What question did he ask?
I don't remember, but maybe it was an answer, but he said something.
Remember it was Friday night when I asked you to look to me like your good friend. I don't know what
We have not been able to find anyone of our men who saw and recognized Ruby at the time of this transfer.
The thing that I saw, I was waiting at the armored car to ride with the suspect to the county jail. I knew that they would bring him out. They had cleared the way, and then I heard the shot. I didn't see the gun. I just saw the struggle that ensued. I immediately ran from the armored car down the ramp and tried to help subdue the prisoner that had shot Oswald.
Now, do I believe that you recognized this man after the capture?
Yes, sir.
Did I understand you to say that if you had seen him before, you would have ejected him?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, as Oswald was escorted out, were the policemen to either side of him? Weren't there any in front of him?
Yes.
How did the man get by the policeman in front?
The only thing I know is that someone said he jumped.
This is Detective Jim Lavelle, who was this morning handcuffed to Oswald and was bringing him out to the car to be transferred to the county jail. Could you tell us what happened?
You were handcuffed to him?
I was handcuffed to him and also had a hold of the waistband of his trousers. I saw this man come from the crowd, and at the time he emerged from this crowd of people, he was not more than 6 or 7 feet from me.
Did you see the gun in his hand as he came?
I saw the gun in his hand as he emerged from the crowd. But being such a short distance from me, I had no time to say anything.
When Oswald fell to the ground, was he unconscious at that point?
I would say if he was not, he was nearly so. Just as soon as my partner on the other side, Mr. Graves, grabbed Jack's hand with the gun in such a manner that he couldn't fire it anymore.
Did you recognize him when he came through?
Yes, I have known Jack Ruby for a number of years, and I recognized him just as soon as he emerged from the crowd.
We are in the office of Napoleon J. Daniels, a real estate broker in Dallas, Texas. Mr. Daniels, have you been associated with the Dallas Police Force?
I was for 7 years.
In what capacity?
As a patrolman.
Where were you on November 24th, 1963?
Well, I was going down to inspect the assassination site around 11 o'clock, I guess, and I noticed Officer Vaughn standing